What's up, Team Gunmetal? This is Dane from the Gunmetal Armory. I know you're probably thinking it's a little bit strange that I'm showing you a bunch of animal food here, a bunch of pet food, but what the point of this video is to show you guys that you can feed your cat or your dog during the apocalypse and different ways to store that food. Here you can see that we've used our food saver to store up some Purina Proplan Veterinary RX Diets urinary tract food. We've also stored up some samples of various different types of food. This is the Victor Super Premium Cat Food for classic feline. You can also see that we can do treats. You can also see there's a whole bunch of different samples, food samples in here. There's a lot of different pet stores you can go to where they will actually give you free samples of pet food. And the reason that they will do it is so you can try the food. Our cat happens to have kind of a sensitive tummy, so we have to try all sorts of different types of food beforehand. So we go in there and we get, you know, just a little tiny sample bag from our local pet store. And a lot of pet stores will have these little sample bags. So we can try it, or we can have him try it first before we buy a big gigantic bag of it. And you know, he can eat the big gigantic bag, but we like to try the samples first. So, Mistress of Metal, why don't you show us some actual food savoring here? Here's the food saver.
So what I've done to get the air out of the bags is just to poke a little hole in the tops, just a couple of little holes in the top, and so that's going to help suck out the rest of the air when you food saver it.
Okay.
Make sure you put a date on there and what it is.
So it sucks out all the air, and then we just leave it here?
It'll seal it.
It seals it all up.
Mm-hmm. There's the seal.
Okay.
And you can see it's all airtight.
So it sealed it up automatically.
Yep.
There. We just leave it in there for a specific amount of time, and it seals it up.
Yep.
So what do we have? You said we have a date?
We have a date.
We have a date. And
that it's cat food.
yeah, we have a date and a marking that it's cat food. Okay.
And I clearly have the packages where you can see them.
Okay, so you can see the back and the front.
Yeah.
Very cool.
These he really liked. So.
Okay. So, and again, this is just the sample packs like we were talking about. It's not a whole lot, but during an apocalypse, you would have something for your cat or for your dog that they could eat, and they wouldn't have to worry, you know, or you wouldn't have to worry too much about how you're going to feed your animal during the apocalypse. You can just go get a whole bunch of these little sample packs, seal them up in these food saver bags, just like we're doing here, and just keep on moving forward as you go. Now, if you got a big gigantic bag like this one here, you know, that might, you know, obviously you're going to need to use a much bigger bag for that one, right, babe?
Yeah, and what we did with the other big bag that we had was I actually poured it all into a bowl and then took the measuring cup of how much we usually feed him to see how many servings this was going to be for him, and this one bag itself is 15 feedings.
So we have an actual number of how many feedings this bag will give him.
Yes.
That's really cool. So you're saying to do the same thing with a big bag like this. If you have a bag that he doesn't want to eat right now, but he may want to eat later when the animal gets really hungry,
Correct.
Go ahead and seal that up using whatever measuring cup you normally feed him with, or whatever size, and then you'll know that there's a certain number of feedings in the food saver bag that you have there, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what are we going to do next here? We're going to do
Now
these.
we're going to do these Nutrisource
Okay, because they're all the same name brand. We're going to put them all in one baggie.
Right, and so shake all the food down so that you're not actually poking the food.
Okay.
And
just using a nail or a little push pin or whatever.
Push pin or something. And
just anything sharp.
Okay. It's hard to do on some of these, but yeah, just
go ahead and poke it through.
A little hole through.
That's all you need, just a couple little holes.
If I can get it to go through. There we go.
That, or you could even take a pair of scissors and just snip but it's better to not snip it if you don't have to, because then that could keep opening.
Right.
And you don't want that.
And then I like to flatten them out as much as I possibly can before I put them in there.
Okay. Poking a couple holes.
And we can also see made in the USA.
Oh yeah. Now this stuff actually says cat and kitten, so you've got both little animals.
And you know, if you've got 2 bags of the exact same thing, it's okay to overlap them in the food saver bag. But if you have something that's different like this one, we're going to turn that one upside down so you can see it from the other side.
Oh, that's a good idea. Are you going to put the one that's different up on the top and put those 2 on the bottom row, basically?
Right.
Kind of a row?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're sliding that sucker in there.
And this one, since it's a little bit different. Oh, look, there's a coupon. How sad. Okay, so we're just
you're such a prepper. You're such a frugal person. I love it. Oh, look, a coupon. How sad. Now, are we gonna just have this one as the Nutrisource stuff? Nothing else, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see.
A lot of people might think that's silly, but I like for my pet foods to be separated out.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
It's about to seal.
And that's how you know it's sealed.
Mm-hmm.
And we just go ahead and look along the edge there, and we can see it is nice.
Completely sealed.
And sealed. And you can do a double seal on these too, right?
Right. On some things that we have, I have done a double seal.
Just because.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys. That pretty much ends it. We're going to go ahead and food saver the rest of this stuff, and then I'm sure we'll food saver the big bag there too. But I think that pretty much gives you guys the gist of how this all works and how the Mistress of Metal prepares for our cat and, you know, sets aside food for our animals. So that's how it's done, right?
Yep.
All right, guys. Join us next time as we go deeper inside the kennel of the Gunmetal Armory. Good night.